I did.
Just wait one moment. The co-chair is getting a letter and is still circulating some material.
Mr. President, members of the council, obviously over the course of the last number of weeks we've gone back and forth, not only with the landmark board, but with the council, both in formal and informal settings. It has become very clear that there is a desire on the part of the city and many of the people living in the city, but the character of that neighborhood. And Grayston has spent a great deal of time trying to find a way that it could meet the requirement of keeping the character of the neighborhood, the character of the street, and at the same time produce housing to be affordable to people young. And so I'd like to ask Steve Brown just to recite some of what he's gone through over the last number of weeks and what it is included.
We've listened to members of the community, members of the council. Speaking to the mic. Am I not speaking to the mic? And as you know, we have a long history of historic preservation as well as providing needed housing for the people of Yonkers, and we want to continue that tradition. And we very much want to make this project a feasible one that will allow us to continue that tradition. So what we have done is we've gone back, we've looked at our plan again, we've listened to what people have to say, and we would like to offer at this time for your consideration and any discussion that we would agree to landmark the facades of all the buildings that we currently own on the site, and to work with the landmarks board and with the council to come up with a plan for the site that preserves those facades, restores those facades, and also allows us to continue to build affordable housing. That may take a bit more time. I understand that. I appreciate that. I appreciate the council meeting 2 weeks ago when you did say you wanted us to come back with some solution that might work for both parties. And we hope that by making this offer, it satisfies the proposals of the applicants, but it also allows us to build housing and rebuild that lot, which is, as you all know, fairly flat. Any discussion? Anybody would like to add? Sandy,
Thank you. I just want to say that I, for one, am very pleased to hear that because this would have been something that was going to be very difficult for me. I did take a tour of the area. I can appreciate what the various people pointed out. And although I'm not really an advocate of landmarking other people's property, I was hoping you would come to some sort of agreement where you could work with the people who made the application and landmarks board, because I want to see you succeed and I want to see them preserve that kind of flavor in the neighborhood. So what kind of time frame are you requesting?
Let me tell you what I think is necessary to figure out a time frame might serve. We're proposing to have the facades landmarked and to preserve it. And we'll put back everything that was originally on those buildings, the way they originally looked 100 to 150 years ago. That's on the facade. Now there is an issue as to how we work out this application, how we work with the landmarks board, how we marry the new building to the facades. There are a lot of technical issues. So our suggestion is that we be given enough time to meet with the landmarks board, to take our compromise solution, meet with the landmarks board, and figure out in some detail exactly how we can work together to get this accomplished. And come back to the board, back to your council, arm in arm with the landmarks board and say this is how we jointly see the process occur. That may take a month or so.
So you've begun talks with the landmarks board at this point?
We've not begun yet. No, we will.
So they know their intent to reach out?
They were actually in the hallway talking to one representative from the landmarks board. We've actually asked them to meet between now and
assemble some sort of emergency meeting between now and next Tuesday that will have the benefit of at least the initial meeting that you'll have with them. Do you have a consensus on that?
Can I just interrupt?
Yes.
You know, is a week, enough time to get this done? Or I don't want to see this go back on the agenda only for all of us to start squabbling at the last minute to try to come to some sort of agreement, whether we need more time or we're going to put it on the agenda and get into discussion again. Is that realistically, a week is enough time to get this together and to come back for our official vote?
Well, let me say this. All the council members should have in front of them a letter that Steve Brown wrote saying that Grayston would extend the 60-day moratorium, which would have otherwise expired on May 5th to July 5th to allow the council to negotiate. In my previous discussions, I didn't get the sense that there were 4 votes to extend this beyond May 4th or May 5th, which leaves us either with May 22nd, which is our next regularly scheduled council meeting, or doing some sort of special meeting prior to the April 29th public hearing. We will all be assembled in this room for the SFC project, or going forward and going with the extension. But that's what the discussion here is for tonight.
Well, if they can reach a compromise or some sort of solution in a week's time, then I'm all for it. But if they need a little bit more time to get everything ironed out correctly and properly, so both sides are satisfied, then I'm not opposed to that either.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if they commit to meet between now and next Tuesday, if anything comes out of that meeting that needs to come to our attention, we can always, again, at the committee of the whole, hear people and decide on it that night whether or not to go over or put it over for another night. Councilwoman Barbero.
Yeah, just a couple of things. First, if there is an extension, I'd like a legal opinion on what that does to the moratorium. We're talking about an agreement, but agreements could be broken and things of that nature. So I'm concerned a little bit about the legality and validity if there was an extension. That's number one.
Actually, I'm not going to take the mic from you, so let's let Mark Blanchard or Mark Constantine answer the question. I think you have the letter in front of you. If you don't have another copy.
I haven't seen the letter, but my understanding is that it's a voluntary act on behalf of the applicant to extend the moratorium. That is not taking any further action.
Come
That's my
on to one of the
understanding.
mics. Come to one of the mics.
Thank you, Mr. President. My understanding is that the applicant is voluntarily agreeing not to take any further action with regard to their current application pending, I believe, first of all, before the zoning board for variances. Mr. Delvelo can confirm that. And I actually mentioned to the minority leader that I'm not sure, but I believe that they're going to have some sort of a modification to their plan that incorporates preserving the facades. That might, I believe, change their application for variances in the first place. So I don't know how much more of any substance is going to be done with regard to these applications. If you remember, they're seeking variances from the zoning board. They're seeking a special use permit from the planning board. And our ultimate involvement, aside from the landmarking that has come up now, was to approve a special use permit.